Hi guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Ross and that is a 2025 Toyota Yaris Cross, and this is the one with the HEV system, so it's a hybrid EV. In this video I'm going to be stepping you through each of the fluid top-up locations on the car, and these are the top-up locations that anyone can do in their garage themselves. It isn't going to include your differential or your transmission fluid. If you don't know how to do those and you don't know how to check them, I'd recommend that you do take the car to a garage and get the professionals to take a look. But these are the fluids that anyone can check themselves. So a lot of people don't realise that HEVs and EVs all have fluids that you can top up like any other car. The fluids just change, but you're always going to have coolant and brake fluid as a minimum, as well as your washer fluid for the windscreen wipers. Now, as you can see, I've already popped the bonnet, but if you don't know how to do that, just go into the driver's side of the vehicle and pull this lever here. Then come back to the front of the car. We're just going to put a hand in above the Toyota badge there and push that lever there to the left. Then we're going to go ahead and put this bonnet stay in that hole there. With that safe and secure, I'm just going to talk you through the engine bay just to point out a few of the things so you can be familiar. And I'll finish off with the fluids. So we've got a couple of fuse boxes, got one there and one there. There are actually 4 fuse boxes on this car. I've made another video on that. Down the front here, we've actually got our air box and our mass airflow sensor. Videos on both of those. Coming down to this side of the engine bay, that's actually our motor for the hybrid system. And then in the middle here is actually our combustion engine. Now these actually both have independent cooling systems, and I'll get to that in just a second. So on the top here, we've got our coil packs, and just under those are the spark plugs. Again, I've made videos on all of these, so make sure you check them out on my channel. Right, now I'm going to talk you through the fluid top-up locations. So we'll start off with this one here, and this is just our windscreen washer fluid top-up location. You can actually fill that all the way up to the top. There's no high or low on that. You just want to make sure you don't run dry, because you could end up with a load of bugs on your windscreen. And the other thing that I would recommend is you use a dilution or a concentrate of windscreen washer fluid, just because it does clean the windscreen a lot better, and it also prolongs the life of your windscreen wipers. Now we're going to come to the back of the engine bay and see this one here with the yellow lid here. This is our brake fluid reservoir. And you can see really clear on the front, you've got a minimum line down there and a maximum line up there. You want to make sure this is always close to the maximum line. And this does use a .3 or .4 fluid, but I would recommend actually going for a .4 fluid. And my recommendation would be, don't go cheap, go for a known brand. I've actually had brake fade from cheap fluid before. It's not very pleasant. And when you're topping that up, if you can't get the bolt straight in there, you can actually remove this panel just up here. And it's nice and simple to do. You just remove this trim by doing that. Then we can actually remove this panel that allows you to get to the top nice and easy. So you can actually hold that out of the way. When you're putting that back, just make sure you put the back in first so it all lines up. Click it down on the front, and then obviously put your trim back so it's not too hard to do. You just have to hook it onto the white clip and then hook it back, and then this one just hooks forward and that's back on, so it's not too hard to do. Alright, so that's your brakes, that's your washer fluid. Now moving down to this. This is actually our coolant reservoir, and as you can see, it's pretty near the top. So you've actually got full and low down the bottom there. So you want to make sure you're close to the F. Now, when you do fill this when the engine is cold. So the reason why the full line is down there is because when it gets hot, it expands and it can come up closer to the top here. Also, never ever take this lid off when the engine is hot, because like I say, the liquid expands. You could open that up and it could all spill out and scald you. So before you go ahead and top that up, again, when the engine's cold, I'd recommend that you just check your radiator level. And you do that by this one here. You make sure that's to the top like it is here. Once you know that's to the top, you can actually go ahead and fill this one up to the fill line. And then this one hidden down here is actually the coolant reservoir for the power control unit, which is your electrical drive unit. So as you can see, just down there, there's a dipstick. Now, if your fingers are too big to go down there, just pop it out with some pliers. Now, because you can't see the fill lines on the side of the reservoir, they actually give you a dipstick. So what you're going to do, much like you would do with oil, just give that a shake off and then have a look where it comes up to. So what you're looking for is the fill line just by that tab there, and you can actually see where this one's sat. You can see the red beading. So I'd say that's perfectly filled. So just make sure you pop that back down, and you always click on the lid like that. So lastly, we're just going to talk about engine oil, and I'm going to get a bit of rag ready. So this has a combustion engine in the middle there, like any other combustion car, and it has a fill point and a dipstick. So what you're going to do is when the car's on a level surface, you're going to take out the dipstick, you're going to clean off any excess oil, and then taking a look at the dipstick, you'll notice there's just 2 dimples in the bottom of it, and we want our fill point or our oil fill level to come up to the second dimple. So what you're going to do is just put your cleaned dipstick all the way in, and then pull it out. What you're hoping to see is lovely amber oil like that coming perfectly up to that second dimple, which this one is. If you are below the second dimple, what you're going to do is open up this fill point here, get yourself a funnel and start pouring in the oil. Now what you should do is pour in a little bit, then check on the dipstick, pour in a little bit, check on the dipstick, so on and so forth until you come up to that second dimple. Now there are 2 or 3 different oils noted for this engine, ranging from a 0W8, 0W16, 0W20, and there is actually a backup option of a 5W30. And the preferred and recommended one for the engine is 0W8, but it is actually quite a hard oil to come across. So the reason there's a bit of a range there is it depends on the temperatures at the location you are. So the external temperatures in the country or area you are can actually change the viscosity of the oil. So do just check in your owner's manual for which one you should be using. But from what I've seen in the manual, 0W8 gives you the widest range of temperatures. So there we go. I hope you found that video interesting or helpful. If you did, please go ahead, give me the thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, check out some of my other videos and subscribe to my channel.